and welcome to Whisky Resource. My name's Mark. This is day 8 of the 12 Drams of Christmas, my blind dram challenge to myself to identify a randomly selected sample that I have received from the whisky community, I've purchased as part of a dram pack or purchased from Masters of Malt. So yesterday was an epic failure. The closest thing I got on yesterday's guess was approximately the price. The rest of it completely wrong. If you didn't see the video, go ahead and check it out because you couldn't get any further from what it was. So straight onto it. Here's me bag of samples. Of course, I've done away with the box, given that there's now less in the box. I don't want to kind of skew any results. So just gonna grab first one and get me trusty red Glencairn. This stops me looking at the colour of the whiskey, so I can go ahead and just use the nosing and tasting. So this one didn't seem to have a crack of the seal, which suggests it's a drinks by the dram sample maybe, but I really don't know. So then, into my trusty hat, and it goes, then on the floor, out of the way, right. So what have we gone for day 8? Well, that's spirity. I think there's a bit of peat in here. Peat rather than smoke. It's fruity. It's got honey and it's got caramel. Bit citrusy. I'm getting similar notes most days, aren't I? Ex-bourbon finish. If I didn't see any better, I would have started thinking this was a peated booner, just going off the nose alone. But there's a bit of apple going on there, kind of spiced apple. It's quite aromatic. Not getting much oak in terms of ABV. Between 43 and 46% maybe. But I don't know. This could be distilled on Mars for all of yesterday's results could have been. Anyway, onto the palate. Cheers and Merry Christmas. That's a little lively. There is characteristics of Campbelltown in there. There's a bit of sea spray, a bit of that maritime funk that you get on a Campbelltown. There's a little bit of peat, a little bit of a smoke whiff. It's got a little bit of oak, but then there's some bitterness on the finish, little spice rather than pepper. It's got nice fruit, but the fruit isn't really giving up too much as to what it could be. I would say the alcohol is 46%. It's not a young whiskey, this one. I think this is an age statement whiskey. I don't know exactly what samples I've got from Campbelltown. That's what I think this is. I know a few of what I've got, and one of them that I know I've got, which I haven't drank yet, which this could well be, is the Campbelltown Kilkerran 16. Because it's got that kind of fresh, zesty Kilkerran vibe with the peatiness, but the peat isn't as intense as it is on the younger whiskies. This is really easy drinking. The Campbelltown vibe on that isn't as intense as you would get on a Scotia, which I have tried plenty of, and they all tend to be quite obviously Glen Scotia Campbelltown. This, however, I'm going to say it's the second time I've guessed a Kilkerran since these 12 days, but that's what I think I'm going to go with, is a Kilkerran, and I'm going to say it's a 16-year-old. Now, I don't know the ABV, but I'm going to say 46%. I don't even know the price of what the Kilkerran 16 sells for, but off the taste of this alone, I would say it's probably about a £65 bottle. Should we find out where it is? Here we go. Wow, okay. So, I'm wrong. Pretty much like yesterday. I'm miles and miles and miles away. It isn't a Campbelltown. It is a peated whiskey. It is 46%, so I get the peated and I get the 46%. However, it isn't even a Scotch. This is a Millstone peated Pedro Xeminez sherry cask bottled at 46% ABV. And it was a sample that I picked up as part of a Drinks by the Dram pack that I put together. So, you know the score now. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to look into this whiskey and I'll come back to you in a moment. I'm well pissed off right now. Hello, I'm back after doing a quick search on the internet. Got a Master of Malt. That's where I got that sample from. Drinks by the Dram sample. So, it's Millstone Peated Pedro Xeminez Sherry Cask, 46% ABV. On the Master of Malt website, it retails for £52.95. I said I'd be happy to pay up to £60 for this. Well, it's cheaper than that, so that's a good score. It is a nice whiskey. I would buy a bottle of this. A bit more information. It's a Dutch single malt whiskey from Millstone, matured in cask, previously holding Pedro Xeminez sherry. It has an intense sweetness of said casks mixed with the powerful salinity of a peated malt. Well, I mentioned salinity there, which is where I get the Campbelltown vibe from. Creating a fascinating juxtaposition of flavours. Very enjoyable as an after-dinner dram. So, the nosing, you're getting sea salt, sultana, flora barley with roasted coffee. Didn't get the coffee. On that palate, somewhat perfumed as it opens before a big whack of oily malt, chocolate sauce, sherried orange peels, and honey. I can't say I got sherry though. Yeah. There is a fruitiness there. I would probably say that it's orange oil, which I suppose could be peel in a way, and it says honey. Oily hops, salty hints once again, and a final hit of brown sugar. So this is a Campbelltown pretender, in effect, and a very good one at that. In terms of age, they don't say, but I'll quickly bring up the Millstone website and see if I can find out a bit more. No, I'll have to try a different search because that yielded nothing, just Millstone pubs. That annoying beep is the carbon monoxide detector. I apologise, it needs new batteries. It's only just started recording this video, so that's a bad one. Yes, I would buy that, 52 quid for a Campbelltown Pretender. It's bloody good. I'm not going to hang my head in shame as much as I did yesterday, because at least I got some of the traits of that. And even on the taste now, knowing it's not a Campbelltown, I'd have still said that's a Campbelltown. So well done, Millstone. That's enjoyable. There it is.